Hey guys, it's Elisa and welcome back to another video. So today we're talking about 10 awesome things about dreams that you probably didn't know. And these are things that are going to help you with understanding what your dreams mean. It's also going to help you in your waking life as far as self-growth and self-healing and processing things that you're going through in life. So stay tuned. Hey guys, Elisa from the future real quick. I just wanted to let you know that if you're seeing subtitles on the screen and you don't like subtitles, you don't want to see them, then just hover over the video. On the right corner, there will be a little gear. Just click on the gear, click on subtitles, and then click on remove. So number one, we go to the same places repeatedly. When we go to sleep and we enter the dream realm or the astral realm, we go to the same places over and over again throughout our entire lives. I have had countless times, and let me know in the comments if you have this ability to remember this as well. I'm not sure if everybody does, but there are times where I will go somewhere when I'm asleep or out of body at night, and I'm like, oh my God, I've been here before. And sometimes I will remember and realize that I haven't been there in like 10, 15, 20 years. Absolutely crazy. For example, it was just like a week and a half ago this happened. So I was just hanging out with some people because I literally have another life after I go to sleep. You probably feel the same way. I literally have another life, and it's a much more exciting life if I'm being honest. Oh my God. So I was with this person and we were just walking around, and he said, I want to fill up my tank. And then immediately I knew, because it wasn't a gas station, but I knew that this old weird building did have one gas pump. And I told him, after he said, I want to fill up, I said, oh, the gas pump around the building in the back, right? He was like, yeah. So then we went and I looked at him like, oh my God, I've been here before, but it had been many years. This has happened to me time and time again, where I've gone to places that I know I've been before, like for sure. Like the memories come flooding back before I even wake up. So then that makes me wonder, how many more times have I been there that I can't remember? Or how many other places do I go to, on a regular basis that I can't remember when I wake up? Like, we're literally multi-dimensional people, spirits, beings that have lives in more than one dimension at once. I don't think that going to sleep is just about resting our human body. Not at all. I think that we go to other dimensions for several reasons, including to receive guidance, to receive rejuvenation and healing, and then just also to learn, and then also I think to have a good time, because I meet some amazing people when I'm on the astral realm, and I wake up like, damn, I wish I knew them in real life. Number two on our list of awesome things you probably didn't know about dreams is that it may not have been a dream at all. You might have actually been out of body, astral traveling. So one sure way to know whether or not it was a dream or if you were fully, all the way out of your body and on the astral realm is how did it feel? How vivid was it? So, like with a dream, it's more like you have no control over it. It's almost like you're watching a movie. It's just it's going, crazy stuff that makes absolutely no sense is happening. It's not super vivid. And then when you are out of body and the astral realm, it feels like it's in real time. Like you can look around, you're kind of just hanging out as if it feels like it's like during the day, like when you're awake, except it actually feels a little bit more real than real life, because in all actuality, it is more real, because this is not real at all. This is actually the dream, but that's a whole other video. When you're on the astral realm, you can go to other places, to other dimensions. So if you have the ability to realize that you are out of body, that's when you can command and say, I want to go here, I want to go there. Whereas in a regular dream, you don't have any control at all. So especially if you're with somebody who's in spirit, or a pet of yours that's in spirit, and it feels real and you're emotional, you're out of body, you're hanging out with them. We're with our people in the spirit world all the time. It's just that the memory of it is wiped the second that we wake up. So that's another surefire way to know that you're actually out of body and astral traveling versus just a regular dream, is if you're with people that have passed away. Number three. So if you wake up and remember something about your dream, especially something significant, you were definitely meant to remember that. That is guidance from your higher self, guidance from your spirit guides, guidance from spirit, whatever you want to call it. If you remember something, you were definitely meant to, because the subconscious mind is always communicating with the conscious mind. Again, I think that's one of the main purposes of having dreams to begin with, is so that we can receive guidance and, insight into like what's going on inside of us that we're not paying attention to, and that maybe that we should, like spirit, like kind of nudging us in the right direction, trying to give us awareness of things that we're just not, we're not seeing, all in the name of like you growing as a person, all in the name of self growth and transformation. Number 4. Spirit uses symbolism to teach you, to express to you what your underlying emotions are. Because during the day, let's face it, we're busy distracting ourselves and trying to numb ourselves so that we don't have to face, the uncomfortable emotions. So Spirit is going to use symbolism in your dreams. And so some of the symbols are like, this part really trips me out, that there's a theme amongst all human beings. I mean, how many of you, let me know in the comments if you've ever had the dream of your teeth falling out. I know I have, and I know many other people who have had that dream, and it's in my dream dictionary. So why is the theme, why are the symbols the same for all of us? That part is weird to me. But anyways, so for example, your teeth falling out, it's Spirit trying to show you that the underlying emotions that you're probably suppressing and trying to ignore are feelings of like powerlessness and anxiety and feelings of insecurity. And they're showing you this because there needs to be some kind of change. And so they want you to wake up. They're giving you something, drastic, because it's a very, very uncomfortable dream. You're going to remember that when you wake up. And when you wake up, and what you want to do is think about how did I feel in that moment? When I was shown the symbolism, how did I feel? Because that's where the guidance is. So again, if you're feeling, the anxiety and the insecurity with the dream of your teeth falling out, that's just Spirit showing you that there's a lot of unprocessed, probably suppressed emotions within you that really need contemplation from you, and they need to be processed. They need to be felt. Our emotions need to be felt and released and, contemplated upon, whether that's your journal or, just sitting and trying to figure out, what's going on with me. And so it's just Spirit just kind of trying to help you out. It's literally you're just being guided. So that's why we have symbolism in our dreams. Number 5, spirit animals in your dreams. So if you resonate and are drawn towards, indigenous cultures and shamanic cultures, then maybe you might already be aware of the fact that a lot of us have spirit animals as guides. Spirit animals can definitely show up for you in your waking life if that's something, again, that you resonate with and that you're paying attention to. If you start paying attention, the universe and Source God is talking to you at all times, like literally every day. When you start looking for it, there will be synchronicity everywhere. So for example, if you resonate with spirit animals, then you will start to see it. Now, I'm not saying just because a squirrel ran across the street in front of your car that's your spirit animal. It's more like when you have an experience with an animal and it's just like, your intuition is like, whoa, okay, this animal is trying to tell me something. It's more significant than just a squirrel, crossing the street type of thing. But spirit animals do not only just show up in your waking life. They definitely show up on the astral realm and the dream realm. I've always been drawn to owls, if you can't tell, and there's a lot more everywhere, my whole life. But it wasn't until I was like a teenager when the owl first came to me, at least that I can remember. He may have come to me before that, but I was on the astral realm and I was camping at night on top of a car. I was sitting on top of a car. Like some Jeeps have the thing on top. So anyways, the owl flew over my head. It was like 10-foot wingspan, and I was just like it was so shocking that it pulled me out of my sleep. And then I thought, okay, that's strange. And so anyways, the owl. When I developed like my relationship with the spirit of the owl, that's when it started to come in my dreams and my astral travels much more often. And, a lot of times it comes when I could be doing something better or when I'm doing something wrong, and it looks right through my soul in a very serious way. And like the energy coming from it is, you're messing up. Basically, you're messing up. You're not seeing something here. You're not using your intuition, because owls represent intuition and also spiritual knowledge, esoteric knowledge. So the owl basically, I mean, I've had some very specific experiences with the owl on the astral realm that just like shook me for weeks. That would be way too long to go into, but I'll just never forget the way it always just like pierces through my soul to let me know, like, are you serious? Like, get it together. Like, you're not using your potential at all, kind of thing. And I know that sounds like, well, crazy. Like, I'm not trying to say that, the spirit animals are judging you. They're there. They oftentimes will come when you really have a need for personal growth at that time, or when there's really a need for change. That's when they will most often show up. So another one of the animals that has been my guide for many, many, many years, and I definitely did not choose this one, is the bear. And nothing against bears. Bears are cool. I just, I'm a hiker, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared of them, right? They're intimidating. They have been following me in my dreams for I don't know how many years. And so they represent like strength and confidence and power. And so I think it has to do, with my insecurities, because they're never, in my dreams, they're never trying to kill me. They're just following me, or they're trying to get to me. And then sometimes they do, but then they don't hurt me. And so anyways, too long to go into that, but I wake up and I say, okay, how was I feeling when they were coming after me? How was I feeling when they caught up to me? How was I feeling when they got there and they weren't hurting me? So those are the things that you want to dive in deep as far as your spirit animals, because they're there to teach you something. They're there for guidance. Number 6, you can have a dream within a dream, which is also called false awakenings. And it's very similar to lucid dreaming, which is when you are aware that you're dreaming. And usually the dream that's within the dream is like really, really crazy. And usually you're like out of body, or at least partially, like it's very lucid. So this has happened to me several times, and the dream that's within the dream is so insane, and I'm like somewhere that's definitely not on Earth. And then I wake up from that dream still in a different dream thinking, oh my, that was so crazy. And sometimes there's people around, and I'll tell them, oh my gosh, I just had this dream. And then I'll tell them an insane experience that I had. And there's usually a lot of guidance in that crazy experience as well. But I'm still in a dream. I call it Inception because of that movie. Okay, so this is where I'm going to tell you about the experience that I was kind of nervous to put out there on the internet, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna, run through it kind of quickly. So I had a dream within a dream. And so the dream that was within the dream was crazy. I think I was out of body and I was in a sleeping bag, sleeping on a second floor. I was sleeping on a second floor patio. Don't know why. It was a nice night and whatever. And I was just like looking, just scrolling on my phone. And then I looked up and there was an extraterrestrial spaceship. I looked up, and then as I looked up, they made my vision go extremely close up right to the ship so that they could show me the picture on the middle, which was an alien's face. It looked like a typical gray, but except for the cheeks were fatter right here. And so I was kind of frozen. And then all of a sudden it started to rumble, and then this purple light shot out of it at me. And I thought, this is it. I'm gonna die. And it lit me up for like what was like probably 30 seconds. And I like braced myself, but then there was no pain. And I looked, and I was still lit up, and it was like searing into me. But there was no pain. And so I thought, what the hell is going on? Am I receiving a download or an upload or something? Like what's happening here? And I've had, just to brief you on it, I've had several other experiences with extraterrestrials. That's a whole other video. And so because I already had my phone in my lap, I like tried to sneakily snap a bunch of pictures before they, left, before they disappeared. And so I was just like, they just pointing. I was trying to make it to where they wouldn't see me, but that's so stupid. And so they disappeared. And then I woke up from the first dream, still in the second dream. And then as soon as I remembered what happened, I was like, oh my gosh, I just remembered my dream last night. It was so crazy. And then I immediately went to grab for my phone to see if those pictures were actually in my phone. of the spaceship. And sure enough, there was a ton of them, but they were like layered pictures. So there was the spaceship, but then there was also random people. And I know that I knew several of them, but when I woke up for real, I couldn't remember who they were, except for one. Give me a second. So there were several people in each picture, like transposed on top of the picture of the spaceship. Like it was like a layer that the people were kind of see-through. And then each picture had a message. So then when I woke up for real, this is the third awakening now, I went to grab my phone because I thought it was really real. Like I thought that this had really happened. That's how real it felt. And so I grabbed my phone and of course there was nothing there. And I was like, oh no. And so I was trying to use my recall to remember as much as I could, as quickly as I can, because the memory of your dreams are going to poof, disappear in 5 minutes, right? So the second you wake up is when you want to try to work on your recall. So I couldn't remember any of the people or any of the messages except for one picture. And I'm not going to say, because this person is famous, I'm not going to say who it was. I'm just going to tell you that they are a leader of an Asian country, northern, and the message said, basically extraterrestrials were telling me that if we humans take it too far as destroying the earth when it comes to, I don't know, I don't want to use this word, BOMB, right? That kind of stuff. If we take it too far, that they will step in. So it was like a warning. And I thought, okay, is this like some kind of premonition? I really, really hope not, because that guy's a scary dude. So that was trippy. Why is that the only picture that I can remember? The only person, the only person from all those people in the pictures that I can remember. So that's super trippy. So yeah. Number 7, you can get much better at your dream recall. So like I just mentioned a second ago, the best thing that you can do, first of all, is set your intention, because intention is everything. So you want to say before you go to sleep, I intend to remember my dreams. That's it. Literally, that's it, because you are so powerful. And when you wake up in the morning, before you go get up to go pee, before you even stretch any of it, as soon as you're awake, take 30 seconds, 60 seconds to try to recall anything that you can remember. If you want to write it down in a journal, even better. And if you do this every day, you will be shocked at how good you start to get at at dream recall, because it's literally like a muscle that you have to strengthen. Now, unfortunately, there are many things that affect you being able to remember your dreams, and that is like prescription medications, alcohol, marijuana, high stress, chronic stress, insomnia, and I know those things are part of life, but if you can get a handle on any of those, then that's going to help you become better at your dream recall. Also, big one, cleaning up your diet also really, really helps. And going to sleep at an earlier time and following your natural circadian rhythm, going to sleep anywhere between 9 and 11 p.m. at the latest is definitely going to help you with your dream recall. Also, meditation really helps with strengthening intentions, and journaling, all of that helps. Number 8. So eating sugar, processed sugar, and eating late in the evening are two very easy ways to end up having nightmares. And those nightmares are going to teach you things, probably. Not always, though, but you may get some guidance from the nightmares. But I think that just the fact alone that we're having a nightmare is, your body's way, or your higher self's way of telling you that the sugar was a no-no, that eating late was a no-no, because there are certain things that just help optimize the human body, and avoiding processed sugar and going to sleep earlier are two things that really help the human body. That's just the way it is. And I think the nightmares are definitely confirming, and it's just a way of your body telling you, knock it off. Number 9. So lucid dreaming, which means that you are aware in the dream, like, oh, I'm dreaming. That's lucid dreaming. So once you can get to the place of realizing that you're dreaming, all you have to do is set the intention to fully leave the dream realm and go into the astral realm. So lucid dreaming is one way to astral travel. Some people can, you can do it through meditation and, that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of different techniques, using the rope technique, imagining that you're on a rope trying to climb out of your body, that kind of thing. There's so many. I actually did a video about it. You can check out my astral travel video if you want to. But yeah, that is just one way to leave your body and go to the astral realm, is by getting to the point where you can realize, hey, I'm dreaming. I'm leaving. I want to go now. I would like to go to the astral realm now, please. Number 10. So not all dreams mean something significant. For example, nightmares in particular can just be like a reflection of our subconscious, and it's like processing our unresolved emotions and anxieties and traumas. And it can be a way of like, it's kind of like warning us of issues that we might be having, whether that's emotionally or physically, or random weird dreams that don't seem to be giving you any, specific guidance, or nightmares, especially nightmares, can just be the brain's way of like working through difficult emotions, or especially if you're going through like a stressful experience, it could just be like your brain's way of like processing that stress, or the fear that you're going through, or the anxiety that you're dealing with at the time. And it can just be like indicating to you like where you need to take care of yourself, and it can be indicating like unmet needs of yours, so that you're not taking care of, that you're not tending to, whether that's physical, emotional, whether that's physical, emotional, or mental. It can also be our brain's way of like adjusting to like new changes. So if you have like a really disturbing dream and you wake up like really frazzled by it, like, and trying to figure out like, what does that mean? Because I'm terrified. It doesn't necessarily mean like that it's some premonition and that whatever bad thing happened in your dream is going to happen. That does not necessarily mean that at all. It could definitely just be your brain's way of like adjusting to like maybe you moving, or like a death in the family. And basically just another way of like showing us that we need to like face our issues head on as much as possible. We need to be present with ourselves and be present with our emotions, and do the work to take care of our mental health and our emotional health, and like the universe and your higher self and everything in the universe is going to continually show you where you're lacking, where you're not taking care of yourself. Literally your physical body will start to talk to you. If you start having insomnia, if you start having migraines all the time, that's just one of many, many ways that your body's trying to talk to you and tell you like, hey, there's something you're doing wrong, or there's something that you're not aware of that you need to, you need to figure this out, and because you're not taking care of me in the way that I need to be taken care of, whether that's drinking more water, eating cleaner, controlling the amount of stress in your life, and so forth. I am a 5th year developing evidential medium. So if you would like to book a reading with me to connect to a loved one or a pet in spirit, which is done over video call, so we'll be looking at each other, you can message me on my Facebook mediumship page, which will be linked in the description box and the comments below. And also, speaking of dreams, I just did a video less than a week ago about sleep paralysis, about when people wake up from a dream and they can't move, like they're paralyzed. So if you're interested in that topic, then definitely check out that video, which will be somewhere up here. And thanks for joining me. I really hope that you learned something about dreams and that you get something out of this in your Earth school experience here that we all have to deal with, because it's so hard. Let me know in the comments what you thought about it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.